Following the news that Senator Mitt Romney will support the Republican Senate in replacing Ruth Bader Ginsburg on the Supreme Court in an election year, the Republican from Utah got a little bit of heat online. So now Romney was originally considered to be one of the potential holdouts, right? Now you've got Suzanne Collins, Lisa Murkowski. They were only Republicans to go on the record to say, well, you know, we're going to wait until the election to put forward a Supreme Court nominee. Well, that's not going to happen because now you have Mitch McConnell. He's got all the votes that he needs. He can push forth this, whoever this possible replacement is going to be, have them confirmed in pretty short order. So we could see this by Saturday. Right? We could see a confirmation vote probably even by next week, if not sooner. And so there's no filibuster. All you need is a simple majority. Republicans have a simple majority, and they're going to get their vote. They're going to get their nominee. Nonetheless, to defend himself, Mitt Romney put out this statement. Here's what he said.
On the other hand, when there's a nominee of a party that is in the same party as the Senate, then typically they do confirm. So the Garland decision was consistent with that, and the decision to proceed now with the President Trump's nominee is also consistent with history. I came down on the side of the Constitution and precedent as I've studied it, and make the decision on that basis.
All right. He also, like I said, put out a written statement that said the historical precedent of election year nominations is that the Senate generally does not confirm an opposing party's nominee, but does confirm a nominee of its own. The Constitution gives the President the power to nominate and the Senate the authority to provide advice and consent on Supreme Court nominees. Accordingly, I intend to follow the Constitution and precedent in considering the President's nominee. The nominee reaches the Senate floor. I intend to vote based on upon their qualifications. Okay, but here's the thing. Republicans don't follow their own precedent. I mean, you want to talk about, what they're supposed to do, right? Advice and consent. Well, how come President Obama, when he put forward his Supreme Court nominee, back in 2016, with about 8 months before the election, he put forward that nominee, Merrick Garland, and Republicans said, hey, you know what we're going to do? Not a goddamn thing. We're just going to let this nominee sit. We're going to wait until the election. They blocked. Now, look, part of Congress's job, and notice how he qualifies that. It's like, well, they don't generally confirm the nominee of the other party. Okay, but at least they're supposed to advise and consent, right? Right? Well, they didn't get that chance because Merrick Garland didn't even get a goddamn hearing. That's a stolen seat. And when you look at what actually happened, it's a stolen seat. But they don't care. They don't give a damn. And by the way, Harry Reid nuked the filibuster, okay, back during his term. Now, that's important because afterwards, when Republicans got control of the Senate, they also nuked the filibuster. Now, that turned out to be a bad idea. But, here's the thing. They had unprecedented obstruction to deal with back in the Senate, okay, at that time, okay? And so Mitch McConnell was blocking every single judicial nominee. Everything that the Democrats wanted to do, Republicans would block it. And so Harry Reid felt like, well, hey, look, we got to go nuclear, right? If we're ever going to get anything done, okay, let's do that. Well, again, turned out to be a really bad idea because Republicans, as we had warned them, liberals, that, hey, look, Republicans are going to use it against us. And that's exactly what they did. And so, unfortunately, that's what we saw. Merrick Garland, as I said, blocked for 8 months. The irony here is, by the way, the Republicans at the time used the excuse that, hey, man, look, we can't do anything because it's too close to an election. We should let the people decide. Okay, well, how come you can do that 8 months before an election? But now, when it's Donald Trump, and you've got 1 month into election, then it seems to be okay. I mean, there's some hypocrisy there. Well, yeah, that's because Republicans, all they do is hypocrisy. All they do is practice hypocrisy. I mean, you shouldn't be surprised when they do exactly what we say that they're going to do. Why is it that independent media is the only one that knows Republicans for who they are? Why is it that there are liberals out there that still believe the Republican Party acts in good faith? They don't. They don't, and they consistently prove it every single goddamn day. Look, this is not about, this is about their hypocrisy. Okay, they are complete and utter hypocrites, but they don't care at all. They don't care. It's all about power, and so yes, they will absolutely be hypocrites if it means that they gain more power. And Mitt Romney, as I said before, only cares about the conservative supermajority and being able to usher in conservative policies that are, anti-choice, anti-union, anti-labor, anti-universal health care, all that stuff. That's all he cares about, getting his policy wins. And so, yes, he doesn't care about the hypocrisy whatsoever. All right, so now, Mitt Romney got a few responses, and I love this. One is Megan for Biden. She says, I actually thought you would be on our side. I really should stop trusting Republicans like you. No, you should just stop trusting Republicans. That was your first mistake. I mean, seriously. Republicans are not your friends. Why have you not learned this lesson? Why do you not understand this? Why do you still believe that Republicans are good faith actors? They are not. They're always going to be bad faith actors. Every liberal is now having this lesson pushed into their face. And they should be. And they should be. And look, we've been saying this for years. You cannot trust Republicans. You cannot appeal to Republicans because they will, at their core, they will never agree with you. And they will always vote for their own power. And that's it. Why? And this is what frustrated me about Hillary Clinton and her strategy to go after suburban Republicans. And the same problem with Joe Biden. Joe Biden earlier today comes out and says, well, I beat the socialist. I'm not a socialist. I beat the socialist. Shut the fuck up, dude. Why are you doing this to yourself? You need the vote. By the way, Bernie Sanders, not a socialist. He's a social democrat. He's a sock dem. Okay? He calls himself a democratic socialist. He's a sock dem. And that's a good thing because I agree with a lot of the stuff Bernie Sanders does and advocates for. Joe Biden clearly does not. And the thing about that, though, is that Bernie's policies are incredibly popular with the American people. People want universal health care, right? People want, yes, they want a public option because they believe that that is more feasible. But also, they say, well, we'd like a Medicare for all system as well. We'll take a public option. We think that it's more feasible. We keep being told that it's going to be better. And so we're going to go along with that. But hey, we'll take a Medicare for all, single payer system as well. Those are left-wing ideas. Joe Biden's backed away from the public option. He says, we're just probably going to focus on Obamacare fixes, which is exactly, of course, what his donors want him to do. We needed Bernie. Absolutely, we do. And so, look, why don't they go and try to get progressives? Well, it's because the donors really don't like progressives. That's why these politicians will always go and support Republicans. All right, more. Country Over Con Man says, so essentially a Republican Senate will never allow a Dem SCOTUS pick to be seated. That's the rules now. Yeah. Republicans will never play fair because it's not about fairness. It's about power. Power is power. And that's it. All right. Another one says, Republicans, yes. Democrats, oh my God, how could you? Everyone else, why is this a surprise to anyone? Well, it shouldn't be. It's not surprising at all. Another one says, the precedent is to put party over country and 100% be self-serving, so I intend to do just that. Allegedly, voting Romney there, because that's essentially what he's done. Another person says, also, you guys are moving heaven and earth to get this done, but have been sitting on that COVID relief package since May. If there's a hell, every single one of you is heading there. Wrong. Mitt Romney's getting his own planet. No, I'm kidding. Kidding. He's right, though. That is a great point. I brought this up on the show yesterday. Republicans have done nothing on COVID-19. I mean, other than put together a $300 billion skinny bill, which is basically does just about nothing for COVID-19. No UBI, no rent freezes, nothing like that. And by the way, the evictions are here, so it's probably not going to help. They've done nothing for the average American. Nothing. And now, like lightning, they're moving so fast on getting this Supreme Court nominee. It really shows you their priorities are the rich people and their own power. And by the way, any nominee to the Supreme Court is going to be a massive corporatist. Now you could say, well, look, anybody who the Democrats nominate is also going to be corporatist. Fair point. But with a Trump nominee, you're not only going to have extreme corporatism, like in the vein of Neil Gorsuch, right? But you're also going to have, along with it, fundamentalism. I talked about this potential nominee yesterday, who's a Christian, ultra-Christian, basically cultist, right? And I'm not saying that all Christians are cultists. I'm saying that this particular person is a cultist, a Catholic cultist, who believes that women should be subservient to men. So there's that person. That's who we could be getting on the Supreme Court. One more tweet here. After all the back and forth, you've proven what we all suspected this whole time. You were just as deplorable and spineless as the rest of them. Congrats on joining the Trump fan club. You had a chance to be the GOP standard bearer. Instead, you showed that you have no standards. Why are you surprised at all? This is who they are. This is who they've always been. Every time, I cannot believe people still fall for Mitt Romney. Why? He showed who he really is. He showed it now, and he went back and he showed it back in 2012 when he ran against Obama, when he said that 47% of the country is moochers and victims. That's who Mitt Romney really is. So, of course, he's going to go along with the party, toe that party line, and, it's because that party is going to give him power and going to make him rich. And that's always what it's been about. I really hope that this time that liberals stop giving anti-Trump Republicans the benefit of the doubt and stop inviting them into the quote-unquote resistance. They need to realize that they should stop courting suburban Romney Republicans because they're going to do this every single time. Republicans, and this is the lesson here, Republicans are not our friends.